Om Swastiastu. Hi guys, my name is Gede Alvendy Wiantinu, NPM 1811171025. I'm from English Education Department in Gede University. So today on this video, I will tell you and share information about Atman in Hinduism. First, background. Atman is a Sanskrit word that means inner self, spirit, or soul. In Hindu philosophy, especially in the Vedanta school of Hinduism, Atman is the first principle. The true self, an individual beyond the identification with phenomena, the essence of an individual. In order to attain moksha, a human being must acquire self-knowledge. For the different school of thought, self-realization is the one of the true self and the ultimate reality are completely identical, completely different, or simultaneously non-different and different. Atman means eternal self. The Atman refers to the real self beyond ego or false self. It is often referred to as spirit or soul and indicates our true self or essence which underlies our existence. There are many interesting perspectives on the self in Hinduism, ranging from the self as eternal servant of God to the self as being identified with God. The understanding of the self as eternal support the idea of reincarnation, in that the same eternal being can inhabit temporary bodies. The idea of Atman entails the idea of the self as a spiritual rather than material being, and thus there is a strong dimension of Hinduism which emphasizes detachment from the material world and promotes practice such as asceticism. Thus, it could be said that in this world, a spiritual being, the Atman, has a human experience rather than a human being having a spiritual experience. The development of the concept. First, Vedas. The earliest use of the word Atman in Indian texts is found in the Rig Veda. The ancient Indian grammarian, commenting on this Rig Vedic verse, accept the following meanings of Atman: the pervading principle, the organism in which other elements are made, and the ultimate sentient principle. Second, Upanishad. Atman is a central idea in all of the Upanishad, and know your Atman is their thematic focus. This text states that the core of every person's self is not the body, nor the mind, nor the ego, but the Atman, which means soul or self. Atman is the spiritual essence in all creatures, their real innermost essential being. It is eternal, it is the essence, it is the ageless. Atman is the which one is at the deepest level of one existence. The last is the difference between Hinduism and Buddhism. All orthodox schools of Hinduism hold the premise Atman exists as self-evident truth, but in Buddhism, in contrast, hold the premise Atman does not exist as a self-evident. Buddhists do not believe that at the core of all human beings and living creatures there is any internal, essential, and absolute something called a soul, self, or Atman. Buddhists reject the concept and all doctrine associated with Atman, call Atman as illusion, asserting instead the theory of no self and no soul. Buddhism, from its earliest day, has denied the existence of the self or soul in its core philosophical and ontological texts, and in its soteriological themes, Buddhism has defined nirvana as the blissful state when a person realizes that he or she has no self or no soul. But Hindus believe in Atman. They hold that at the core of all human beings and living creatures there is a eternal, innermost essential and absolute something called a soul, self, that is Atman. Within the diverse school of Hinduism, there are differences of opinion on whether souls are distinct, whether a supreme soul or a God exists, whether the nature of Atman is dual or non-dual, how to reach moksha, the knowledge of self that liberates on the blissful content state of existence, and whether moksha is achievable in this life or achievable on afterlife. However, despite this diversity of idea and path in different schools of Hinduism, unlike Buddhism, the foundation premise of Hinduism is that soul or self exists, and there is a bliss in seeking self, knowing self, and self-realization. Okay, I think it's enough from my presentation. I do apologize if I have mistake information or wrong pronunciation. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Bye bye. Om Santi 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 Om.